My friend and I from Nashville, Tennessee. This is Dr. Pamelia Tyree-Carr, the Right Reverend Dr. Debrah Bryant.
Oh
We're,
my!
we're
I'm the
speaking
right
things it's
reverend.
not as though
Oh
we were.
my! Look at the Lord. Won't He do it?
Suddenly.
Oh God.
Okay. Anyway, today we were just sitting here talking, and we thought we would share with you guys some inside information about when you've outgrown somebody. Deborah, what did you call it? Empty?
The empty, is it the emptiness
Yes.
or not?
Okay, that's the question, to be or not to be. Have you really, are you now in a relationship that you may have started 20, 25 years ago? I see a lot of people on Facebook. I'm celebrating 25 years of marriage and 30 years of marriage. And I say to myself, I wonder, are they dealing with the same person they got married to?
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's deep. Because like what we were talking about a moment ago about outgrowing a person.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I wonder if people were really friends to begin with. Because friendship for me is more powerful than a marriage. Because when you are really a friend to someone, you're really going to think about your actions.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage, for the most part, is a piece of paper to some people. They don't even listen to the vows that they are saying when the minister or pastor, whoever it is saying, okay, all of these things that they say, and you're repeating it. But you're just repeating what you've heard. You're not even thinking about what the meaning of the words are, for better or worse, sicker or richer, poor, whatever it says. You're not even paying attention. You're just repeating some words. You haven't taken it to heart. You're not in covenant. That's the thing I want to say. Some people are married, but they're not in covenant. Mm-hmm. Covenant is a different thing, and some people never been taught about it. They don't even know what covenant means.
I can remember in my last marriage when I had it in a big edifice, not a church, a edifice on the campus of Case Western Reserve University. And when the minister said all the vows, and he got to the part that I have a big issue with, uh, and that was, do you promise to honor and obey? I was shaking my head like this on the video. He should have known then, run back down the aisle. She ain't gonna do nothing I say. She is not gonna be submissive. But I believe that word submissive means once to another.
Exactly. And it goes both ways. It's not just the woman submitting to the man. The man has to submit to a woman. But I'll say this too. If you have a good man, a mature man, a good mature woman, you don't mind submitting to that, honey, because that's a good thing. It's whether that person is, mature. The man is mature, even though you may not like it. If it is something that is good and you know that man has your best interest at heart, you're going to do it even if you don't like it. I remember once, and this wasn't too long ago, my cousin was saying to me something about her husband had said to her, you're not going to be able to do this any longer. And it was something she had been doing for years. She was the leader of this ministry. And she said, even though it went against what she felt was right, she submitted to what her husband said. And to me, that was so powerful when she said it, because she could have easily rebelled against what he said, but she didn't. She submitted. And that's what we're supposed to do, is to not be afraid to submit to that, because we know that man has our best interest at heart. And when that man is submitted to God, you don't mind doing it, because he's really not doing something to hurt you. He's doing something to bless you. And she said months later that she realized that it was the best thing that she could have done, that he was on point. And they've been married for over 20 years, but she's like, some things I just didn't really want to do. So we just have to submit to that thing.
I think it's the 50-50 plan. Honor and obey, and love and cherish. And if one does that part and the other one does that part, then they don't have a problem submitting. Because you loving and cherishing me, honey. I'm going to do what you say do.
Exactly. And a relationship is not 50-50. Well, that's my better half. No, I don't want a half. You need to have a whole, or as close to a whole. You need to be way past the 50% mark to be able to make it work. Because otherwise, you're going to get tired. You're going to feel like, I don't have to be with this. I don't have to do that. And that's not right.
What about people who are not equally yoked? What does that really mean?
Well, so often, and I thought this too, that equally yoked mean that you needed to marry a Christian person. Your spouse needed to be a Christian. But these folk that say they're Christians out here in these streets, they just like the people in the streets. I mean, really, that's the truth.
They turned church into a meat market.
Okay, right.
If you have gone to see Girl Trip, you can digest what I just said. Okay, get over it. Get over it. You come to church looking for the best shaped body, who got the beautiful breasts and who got the biggest booty and all that. God ain't pleased with that, and I ain't either. God ain't pleased with that. You have turned church into a meeting place. You know, we used to have a bar here in Cleveland called the Meeting Place. And baby, when you got in there, you couldn't move. You elbowing up against everybody. Wasn't no place to go. That might be why they call it the meeting place. Because there wasn't nowhere to do but meet somebody. And church now, they ain't holy kissing no more. They holding, kissing, and rubbing and touching all over you. I'm telling you, honey, it's a very exciting thing to do to go to church these days. Seriously. If
better.
You ain't going to look for God,
it's the place to be, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But you need to be somewhere where you are accountable, where you like the minister enough where if they check you and tell you, you know, do better, you can. Now, back to our subject. Once you outgrow somebody. I've outgrown some of my friends. And they don't want to hear it, but now you know, okay? If we ain't seen each other since Skip was a puppy.
Yvonne over there laughing.
Baby, we have outgrown each other.
She said since Skip was a puppy.
Unless your name is Yvonne Barty and you out, this is her house we in. We got to say something good about her. Right now, if we put her on this video, she would kill us.
Yes, she would.
She and Debrah are in matching leopard. Only reason I'm over here now dressed up because I came from my penthouse, okay? Downtown Cleveland. But now she want to flounce around. Okay, she gonna make me put her on video, and then you gonna see what I'm talking about.
Running.
It's a hot mess. Now she done ran the room.
She don't want to hair fixed.
I feel led to put her on video right now, saints and free. If I do, she would kill us. Okay.
And you know, back to what you were talking about, outgrowing and friendships and stuff. Sometimes you can have people that have been in your life a long time. And you love them and you care about them, but they're really not pouring into your life. They're not pouring life into you. And, you know, people will sometimes bring you all of their problems. They want you to solve their problems. And every time they call you, it's only a problem. Who wants to talk to that person? And it doesn't mean that you don't love that person, but it's like, and then you will find that you will pour out everything that you have, and that same person won't come back and pour into you. They just always got a problem, or they moving on, and that's not really friendship. Friendship is, you know, you give some, you take some, you give some, you take. You balance it out. There's no balance, and that is a real issue. And then, you know, everybody that tell you they want to see you move forward and go forward, they really don't want to see you move forward and go forward. I remember a girl here in Cleveland. Her name is LaToya Jones.
We will call her name. Okay, come on.
She's a good girl. I'm going to say something good.
Okay.
She's a life coach. She works with suicidal prevention. She's doing an awesome job here in Cleveland. We had a life coaching session, and it was our first session. And she said to me, Deborah, you hang out with too many cockroaches.
Oh, we.
First time the young lady had even audibly spoken to me. I had not done the pre-assessment because for some reason the computer wouldn't work and it didn't come to me. And she went ahead and did it without the pre-assessment. And she just asked me some questions. And that's what she said to me. And that was almost a year. In fact, it was in October when I came here last time. And right before I came. And when I thought about that, you think about it. Do you have any cockroaches in your life? You know, cockroaches. That's some serious thing. And my circle is already kind of small. But you telling me that one or two of them people are cockroaches?
Shut up. I had a dog named Tad when I was a little girl. And we had a big backyard with peach trees and all that. I lived in Anniston, Alabama. And one day, Tad just laid down. My grandfather said, Pamelia, what you think is wrong with Tad? So I said, I don't know, because I was a little girl. He pulled the coat of hair back on this dog, and there were a bunch of ticks.
Sucking the life
Just
out of
suck the life out of him.
Yeah.
He just couldn't do nothing but like,
Isn't
I
that
tell him
something?
in Women of Destiny's ministry we do, I say, baby, if you're dealing with uh what I just called
Ticks.
a tick, get rid of them.
Yeah.
Because they will suck the blood out of you. You won't even know it's gonna. Let me tell you something else funny. In ministry, people will use your gift.
Yeah.
Now, this lady I know came to me and said, my husband is abusing me, Pam, and he's beating me, and she showed me the scars and everything. I said, no problem. I said, girl, for the next 3 days, I'm going to turn my plate over. I said, because God hears me when I pray. And I said, I'm going to turn my plate over, and I'm going to fast concerning your issues. So I did it. 3 days went by. I saw her again. She said, what did you pray? She said, girl, he hasn't been beating on me. I said, he hasn't. She said, no. She said, did you go on that fast? You said you was going to. I said, yeah. She said, girl, I ate everything I wanted to eat.
She didn't even get in agreement with you.
Well, I said, so you know what I do about those kind of people, honey? He might be beating you next week because I'm going to tell you something. I'm only a size 4. I ain't flipping another thing because you can't get your act together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At least if you're going to ask somebody to pray for you.
Yeah.
Don't deal with these ticks and cockroaches no more. You hear me?
That's right.
Because cockroaches, what do? They just set up camp and they wait till your friends come over too, and they come out. They get to crawling up the wall and everything else. Hey, you can't do.
Turn on the light.
Turn the light on. There they go.
Scattering around.
Because you gotta know that, baby, in the dark they doing some dirt. You hear me? You cut the lights on.
In the dark, they doing something.
I just want, this is a disclaimer. I don't know much about roaches, okay?
Yeah,
But I know how they operate. That's how they operate.
Yeah.
Wait till your best friend come over and come out.
Yeah.
Come out. You know, I'm asking God to deliver me from cockroaches, ticks, fleas, bedbug, whatever it is. Go. You don't belong in my camp no more. You know, and that's part of what you outgrow. You know, you outgrow people sometimes. I feel so bad of the people that you know, you can't take them with you. That's another thing. They're dead weight. Dead weight. I rebuke the spirit of dead weight off my life. Because I'm a sponge. I draw people to me. They stay around, and sometimes you think they're part of what you're doing, and they're really not.
Yeah.
They just want to get their name called. When the whole group get up, here they come.
Yeah, they're not really for what they haven't bought in to what you're doing. They just, like you just said, they just want to be a part of what you're doing, just for themselves, not even to help you. They'll come saying that they're there to help you, but they're really not there to help you. It's really about their agenda, not your agenda. They don't. People have a problem with serving.
And when you're a leader, that's part of it.
You can't be a good leader if you don't serve.
Right. This is true. And
If you don't know how to serve and you're in leadership, you can't do it. You won't be effective. Not God's way. Now, that may work in corporate America. But when you're doing it in the kingdom, it's a whole together different criteria in the kingdom.
Wow, this has gotten deep. You know, we might need to do a talk show, okay? Debrah Bryant and I, we did a talk show called Get Lifted.
Oh.
And baby, all over the world, people were calling in and got so good, people wanted to come into the studio where we were doing it at.
Oh,
you know, we were
wow.
doing it on the internet. Baby, we would have got real dangerous on TV if we had a little system like this. You know, these Apple phones do everything. And like I said, I'm so excited that Debrah Bryant came all the way from Nashville. She came here for our well experience that we did for our board members, but she has blessed me so much, and I snatched her off the internet.
That is the truth. And you know, the well experience was so powerful because when you, let's just talk about it a bit. You know, I remember telling my goddaughter, you know, that woman at the well was a whore. And she said to me immediately, Ma, I need you to go deeper. Go deeper. And it pushed me to look at the meaning, the Webster's definition of a whore. And when you look at that definition, that woman was not a whore. You know, those 5 husbands. My goddaughter had me to think about, Ma, what about the times when we were talking about those times, men had multiple wives, hundreds of wives. So what did that mean? Then she talked about how a marriage actually had to be consummated, and even to be a marriage. I mean, she got really deep. And so, for the well experienced, I, want to really say how great it is for you as the leader of that ministry